Are you a sponsor who is about to get audited by FDA? Or are you a site who is about to get audited by FDA in times of COVID-19? Well, then this video is must watch for you. Hi guys, it's David. I want to thank all of our followers because since the past couple of videos you sent us so many questions about the practical aspects in clinical trials, and I want to thank you. So in today's episode we'll be talking about the FDA inspections in times of the COVID-19. Why? The reason for that is that back in December 2020, one of our sites that we are working with got inspected by the FDA and the inspection was done remotely. So we want to share our experience, how did the site get prepared, how we supported them, and what are the strategies and best practices to get ready for the FDA inspection in times of COVID-19. We had a sponsor who was conducting a vaginal candidosis clinical trial all around the globe, and the FDA has decided to select 3 of their sites across the globe for an inspection. One site was selected in United States, but the other 2 were in Poland and in Bulgaria. And this was when we were contacted by the sponsor to help them with a site audit readiness. So our site was here in Bulgaria. The problem was at the beginning that the site was closed remotely. The CRA has reviewed all the site files and site binders remotely because back then they were right in the peak of the second wave. The site was closed in November 2020 and the CRA could not enter physically the office. So this was already the first hurdle. How are we going to make sure that in case the site will get audited, everything will be fine, and how we can make sure that the site is ready for an audit inspection? So what we have done is that we have grouped our team and we have followed the audit guidelines. It was very interesting because practically before that a virtual audit was something very exotic, but now as the COVID-19 starts spreading and the whole pandemic starts, everyone started working virtually. And this is also applicable for the FDA inspections. So it took us a couple of days to go to the site and act as a quality assurance personnel. And we have went through all the site files and patient files, of course with a approval of the sponsor and the site. And we have practically prepared all the site documentation for review by the auditor. How we did it? Well, actually this is an interesting fact. With our team of coordinators, we have literally brought a big print machine and scanner in the site, and we just started scanning everything file by file. We started zipping it and then we were sending it to the auditor for the inspection. And this is practically how the FDA inspection goes more or less at the moment. Once the site gets the notification about audit readiness, they have a couple of days or weeks, depending on the case, for preparing for the site. Since the site in this case was already closed, the CRA could not just go there and get ready, and that's why the sponsor has requested us to support them for the audit readiness. So we went there on the sponsor behalf and we literally went file by file and made sure that everything is as per the compliance. And afterwards, once everything has been reviewed and submitted to the auditor of the FDA, what happened is that the FDA auditor wanted to make a follow-up call with the site and with the principal investigator to have an interview with them, to discuss the protocol, discuss the patients in particular, because in this audit the FDA inspector was looking in detail in the patients and checking the adverse events, just practically guys every inspection, right? So it was a very interesting experience because for the first time I have had previous in my past couple of FDA audits, and they were always with the physical presence of the auditor. Of course you got prepared, but it was very different to have the person in place and answering the questions, everything immediately. Whereas this kind of virtual audit gave you, I would say, a little bit more comfort because you have time for preparation. There is a lot of understanding from the side of the inspectors. So if I have to choose to go back again to the old way of making the audits and the new way, I'll definitely choose the new way, the virtual audits, because it's just much more comfortable. For the auditor, he's sitting at his home. For the site, because they have enough time to prepare and to get ready, and also afterwards the interview is going pretty smoothly. So one of the main questions here was, what about the GDPR? Because practically you are scanning all the documents and then you are submitting it to the third parties. Well, in this case, all the patient materials and patient-related information had to be blinded. So you can imagine how many days it took us to blind all the visits from the protocol related to the patients and all the patient informations. It took us literally at least 8 days to complete these tasks only to blind the information. And I was thinking, like, what can we do to transfer the information in a safe way and make sure that the GDPR and the data privacy will be kept? So, and what we came up with is the following thing. We have started using smart glasses, smart goggles, and I will show you how it works. You put the smart glasses on and you turn them on, of course. Then you position them on your eye level so you can see in periphery what is happening. You open my camera, record video, and voila! I start recording. We have started using these glasses for a couple of services. Number one is a virtual facility tour. This is the easiest task to do. You get a consent from the hospital and the principal investigator, and you just make during the site selection a virtual facility tour where everyone from the sponsor representatives or the CROs can see what is the facility and what is the actual facility at the site, which for me, this is really amazing because most of the time in my past I have seen many monitoring reports where the CRA has described a little bit over-exaggerated the site facilities, and then during the site initiation visit, the site came up with the information that they didn't have this equipment or that equipment. So with these goggles, you can make sure that you have all the oversight over the site facility from the very first site selection visit, and you know what to expect from them. The second service why we use these glasses, and the most important one, is exactly the site audit support. So if you are expecting site audit by the FDA or just by the sponsor, we are supporting you in a very practical way. You can make a Microsoft Teams meeting, and that means that you are transferring not the data to a third party where they will be stored, but you are transmitting them. That means that the third party will not have long-term access to the document. This means that, for example, next time if an audit is happening on site and you are using this kind of glasses with the discussion between the auditor and the site, it's just perfect. You are there as an audit support or audit assistant. You put the glasses on, you turn them on, you start a Microsoft team meetings, and you just leave the auditor talk to the site representatives such as PI or sub-investigators, or you can just make the easy facility tour for us. Definitely for the future we are going to stick to these smart glasses, especially in case of the site selection visits, when we want to show up the facility tour just as we did in Turkey during our first site selection visit, and also during the future site audit inspections. We will be assisting to the investigators with these glasses and also to the inspectors. They can very easily have a real-life experience just by using these goggles, and yeah, it's pretty much it. So guys, if you like this content, we will be more than happy if you share or like our videos. And if you have any questions about clinical trials, just please let us know. I'm David Rosenbaum, this is Rosenbaum Group. Subscribe and stay tuned for the next videos.